We go.
Are we live? Are we live? I think we are. Okay. We are excited to have you here with us. We are live for day 5. Live? Live at, never mind. My brain just went somewhere else.
Live not at 5.
Wait, let's see. Can you
Shimmy?
Well, I just want us to be centered. The neurotic part of me wants to be centered in the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Starchy Shauna is in the house. Welcome to Ellen's Healthy Kitchen. Be sure to say hi and where you're joining in from. So we're coming to you from north of Boston. We just got back from a really quick trip over to CVS. We had to do, a little bit of CVSing. And we also went to the thrift shop. As my mother, may she rest in peace, would have said, it shouldn't be a total
loss.
Very good. You remembered. You pulled that one out of your bum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shouldn't be a total loss. So anyway, it is day 5. It's really day 6, kind of.
Because we didn't post yesterday.
But we couldn't do yesterday because we had something going on here. So,
yes.
It really is day 5 because for the sake of doing this. Okay. So we're excited to have you here. It's an unusual time. And the reason that we did it this time, why did we do it this time? It just felt like just for a change. And we have other stuff going on, and it's our last night together. And, and does anybody notice I actually blew my hair dry last night? It looks different. It's still puffy though,
It is.
Because it's curly. And because it's curly, you can't get it when I was in high school, did you want like all the long straight locks?
I did.
Right?
In high school.
Do you remember, did you used to do this where you would take orange juice cans and wrap your hair around it?
There were 2 ways to do it.
What
you could either bring everything up and wrap it in a can, right? Or you can do the one that
I did both.
You
would put the cans would be like 1 can or 2 cans would be in the middle. And then all the rest of the hair would be wrapped around, and you would clip the whole thing all the way. What the hell?
And sleep like that.
And you would sleep. What? Were we nuts? You did that too?
The grass is always greener, right?
That was unreal. So anyway, my hair is as curly as Faye's. And I got a lot of waves. I usually let it go curly, but lately it's just been bugging me. So I just blew it dry last night.
My twin sister has exceedingly curly
orange juice cans from frozen, right? From frozen concentrate. Who grew up on frozen concentrate orange juice?
I did.
Well, I did too, because I lived in the same house as you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good morning to everybody. I know that's bizarre, right? The orange juice cans, Ruth, is bizarre.
I think they still have them. Yeah.
You still have the orange juice? Yeah, of course they do. Yeah. But it's crap.
Exactly.
I mean, sorry if you drink it. I don't mean to offend you, but it's so much better to have fresh as
I think it's
fresh
full of
as
sugar.
The best. Well, no, I don't think so. But it just was not as good as
bitter. It had a bitter taste.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about what we're doing. So first thing is that we are going to review what days 1, 2, 3, and 4 were about. We're going to start there. Okay. And I don't have it written down, but I do want to talk about our process for thinking about lunch and dinner today, and kind of talk about what we talked about in the car. Remember the whole tutorial?
Yes.
I said to you, am I being a
Tell
pain?
me when I need to talk, I'll talk.
Okay, you talk.
Okay.
Oh, wait, not now. No. I want to just keep going through this. All right, so we're going to go through day 1 through 4 and then talk about 5. We're going to really unpack what day 5 is about, fruit. And we're going to also talk about what we talked about in the car about making that recipe that you found for the Asian soup.
Yes.
Right. We're going to talk about that.
How about my win yesterday?
Yes. Let's start. Can we start there?
We had to go travel a distance for something.
Where did we go yesterday?
Boston.
Oh, we went to Boston. Right. Okay.
I walked at night. I checked my watch for the very last time. I had walked over 15,000 steps and have 2 blisters to prove it.
And the next time you do that, you'll listen.
I'll wear sneakers. She said, "Why are you wearing sneakers? These sandals are fine."
No, they weren't.
No, not so much.
So, but the win was, you had a couple of wins actually.
Yeah, I did.
One was the walking.
One was I brought lunch with me, and I walked through the public garden, and then I walked through Boston Commons. But in the public garden, I sat on a bench and I turned on the YouTube interview with Kathy Hester and with Stacey Cross.
One of them, because there's a whole series of them.
But one of them. And I sat there and I ate my lunch in such lovely peace. It was just charming.
You didn't have me there to bug you.
I didn't have you
and say,
there.
okay, now what are we learning today?
I know. What's your takeaway?
What's your takeaway? So, well, let's talk about what lunch, right, you ate. If you were to improve, and I'm just saying, if you were to improve the way the whole thing came down, because we were eating breakfast and then all of a sudden it was like, oh,
we were in a hurry.
I said to you, because I didn't want to push you, I said, I'm going to get up and make my lunch. And then what did you do?
Well, I started preparing my lunch.
Realizing that
I hadn't prepped a lot ahead of time.
Or thought about it even.
Right. So I had cabbage.
Yeah, so what did you do for your lunch?
There was cabbage in the container. There was chickpeas in the container.
From a can that you drained.
From a can.
And you meant to save the aquafaba and you let it go down the drain.
Right. What else was in there? What other vegetables were in there? Was there broccoli? I don't remember, but I did use my 3-2-1 dressing.
Did you have any starch?
Potatoes. Okay, there you go. I made a Hannah sweet potato, and Ellen suggested that I cut it into chunks before I bake it.
So not chunks. Be more specific.
Slices.
Thank you.
Cut it into slices.
You could do chunks.
And then air fried it. And not air fried it, just zapped it. And I threw that zapped it all together. In fact, I zapped everything, the zucchini, the cabbage, everything got zapped together.
Did you put mushrooms in there?
No.
No. Okay.
And it was just delicious. So much so that I couldn't finish it. I was so full. So I stopped eating, put the fork away, and said, I'll save it for later. I think Shauna talks about that too.
Listening to your hunger and fullness cues, right? Yeah. And not feeling like you have to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. I mean, you can. Yes. Fine. Right. But also paying attention to how you're feeling.
Right. Yeah.
Excuse me. So that was good.
Yes.
Right. So my husband and I had an appointment that we had to deal with for a few hours. So Faye just sort of said, don't worry, I'm a big girl. I can do it on my own. Right.
I wandered in and out of some very expensive boutiques.
And that was fun.
It was
right.
fun.
Did you buy anything?
No.
No chazarai?
Nothing.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Does anybody on here know what chazarai is?
Mm.
It's a Yiddish word, right?
Yes.
Chazarai. I bet Ruth knows. What's chazarai?
Yeah, Ruth knows.
Ruth knows. Can you explain chazarai? Because I think if I ask Google, it won't know what it is.
Maybe GPT might.
Yes. All right. So, and I also brought my lunch as well.
Yeah, and I had an apple.
It's crap. Yeah. Chazarai is basically all the crap that we really don't need that we buy.
In the thrift store?
No, not in the thrift store. I mean, okay, well, maybe in the thrift store, but okay. Uh-oh. Are we still frozen is the question. Let us know if we're still frozen, because that would be a drag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not frozen. Okay. So let's keep going. So you had two wins, the walking and the fact that you brought the lunch. And do you think that's something that's replicable at home when you are back in Florida?
100%.
But what do you think might be the things that will sabotage you from doing that?
If I'm not prepped, if I don't have the veggies prepped, because having the veggies prepped in the refrigerator allows me to just dump it into a bowl. Can't wait to use my new microwave bowl. And I think preparation, which Ellen said, preparation.
Prep. I'm the prep queen. That's what I like to think of myself as. All right. So preparing. Okay. And if you are not prepared, and we haven't really talked much about this, but if let's just say you don't have any fresh anything prepared, what can you have in the house that you can use as a substitute? It begins with an F.
Fruit.
No.
It starts with an F.
It's the name of a musical for children.
Frozen.
Yes. Okay.
I needed that hint.
You needed that hint, right? So that's why it's always good.
Yeah,
I have a pantry guide. It's a beginner's whole food plant-based pantry guide. If you're interested, let me know and I'll put the link in the the chat. It's one of two books that I sell, one of two ebooks. And if you're interested, and in that pantry guide, so people tend to think of pantry guide as dried foods like what we have in this pantry, but it's much more than that. I think of pantry as dried canned goods, boxed, anything that will fit into your whole food plant-based lifestyle. I think of freezer, things like frozen vegetables. They're frozen at their peak of freshness, and they're fine. It's not my first choice, but I'll tell you what, in a pinch it does, right?
Or your super cubes, which I have.
Or your super cubes.
I couldn't find them at a couple of Marshalls and TJ Maxx's and Home Goods, so I'm going to have to probably order them.
Yeah, from and there are other
generic
brands,
ones,
right? But the super cubes are they're fabulous, right? So yes, and frozen rice you can buy, and if you're somebody who either doesn't have time or inclination, and you're not like neurotic like we are. I don't like to think. I'm scratch that, Your Honor. Not neurotic. We are just attentive. Right. So if you don't want to make it, you can buy frozen rice. That's fine. You can buy jasmine, brown. All the markets have them now. Right.
But be careful because the Minute Maid ones.
Oh, yeah.
So if you get the shelf stable Minute Maid rice things.
The shelf stable ones have rice.
Have oil, right? Except
for there's one brand that Lundgren makes some that don't have oil in them. So you have to look.
It's deceiving. You have to be careful.
You have to look at labels like it's your job. Right. And that something happened this week that. Oh, I know what it was. I'm sorry. It was last night. Let's talk a little bit about what happened before. I was doing something and you decided to go. Maybe I went for my walk or something. And you decided to.
I was preparing the breakfast bowls. I was so excited.
No, not about
that one.
No.
Okay.
You were preparing dinner. We were having Mexican bowls. And what did you do? Did you either take it out of the pantry or I left it here?
I opened up the Amy's traditional refried beans. I took a little spoon of them. Whoa, look at the sodium content in that.
But even before that, you hadn't looked at what on the can?
The fat content?
The ingredients.
Oh, right.
And what was one of the ingredients that we don't eat? Begins with an O, ends with an L, has 3 letters on it, oil. So that's the point, is that you cannot take anything for granted. You have to you have to police yourself. Okay. And if you want to stick to this lifestyle and really be diligent about it, you have to know that the food companies, they want to do everything to get you into their, what's the word I want? Like into their grasp. And they'll make the labels beautiful and colorful. Right. If you're doing this like we suggest that you do it, you got to look at your labels, and you got to know that the companies put in lard, they put in oil, they put in tons of sodium. Oh my God, the sodium is insane.
And Amy's purports to be healthy. Right. It's always in the healthy area in the frozen section and such. You know what? You got to be careful.
Yeah. Right. So Starchy Shauna says, yes, sometimes the Amy's brand has lots of oil and salt, which is such a bummer. It is such a bummer. And you can make your own. If you make a pot of rice, no matter how you make it, and when it comes to room temp, you freeze it in portions, maybe where's that, that little, hold on.
The little bowls I ordered? The little jars I ordered?
No, not the jars. I was just thinking, like you could take a muffin tin, and I have both. I have like regular size muffin tins, and then I have the ginormous ones because I used to make the really big muffins. And you could take something like this, and you could measure out the amount of rice you allow yourself. Like we allow ourselves a half a cup of cooked rice. And I always say, if you want more and you're still hungry, have it. But at least that's one of the things I do measure. I'm a proponent of like no more of the measuring, weighing, portions, all that. But I don't want to eat more. The things that Stacy Cross talked about this, actually. She said the same thing yesterday in the live that we listened to, is that we don't measure. That's kind of one of the beauties of this lifestyle, except for things that we know that we could easily overeat. So I know you would probably agree with me. I could easily eat a cup of cooked white rice easily, but I don't want to, because I want to make sure that my belly gets full of the non-starchy veggies. So that's one of the things I do measure. So you could take the muffin tins and you could use a measuring cup, right? Measure out a half cup of cooked rice or a quarter cup, and then do it twice. And then you could put it in the little cups in the muffin tin and then freeze it. And once they're frozen,
great idea.
you take it out, turn it over, empty them, or you can use the super cubes. It's the same idea, because you can have half a cup super cube silicone molds.
That's a great idea.
Right. And you can then take those the frozen pucks of rice, put them in a Ziploc bag, and boom, you have your
Love that
rice.
idea.
Isn't that a great idea?
Mhm.
And then you don't have to make it,
Yeah.
because it's already done.
That's a great
Whether it's
idea.
brown rice, jasmine rice,
Mhm.
long grain white rice, black
Yeah.
rice, red rice, mixed colored rice, whatever. You know.
Well, Evelyn, do you have the super cubes, and where did you get them?
Super cubes, you can get them on Amazon.
Really?
Yep. Or on their website, either one.
Okay.
They both, you can get them anywhere.
Mhm.
And there are copycat super cubes, but to be honest with you, super cubes have kind of changed my life. Like, it's one of those non-negotiables, and it's a small family run company, and their entire operation, their house, their facilities was burned down in the California fires. Did you know that?
No.
Everything burned down to the ground.
Oh.
They had to start from scratch. So I mean, of course, they're going to benefit if you order it from Amazon. And if you want to like go right to the horse's mouth, you can go to their website and order right from them. And I feel strongly about supporting a company like that
small
has
business
that has helped us learn how to live this lifestyle in a way that's sustainable. Okay.
Because so many of us, we can't help them monetarily.
Yes.
I can help them by ordering. Right.
Green Lady Beth, Minute Rice does have microwave rice and quinoa cups, but I am 99% sure, maybe somebody could look it up for us on, pull it up on Google, and I pretty much can guarantee you that it's got oil in it.
Or ask GPT.
Yeah. So anyway, where were we? We were talking about
our wins,
and
then we're going to talk about review.
Right. So I think one of my wins was that I also brought my lunch and I ate it when we got to our appointment, and it was delicious. One of the things that, I don't know if you're feeling this yet, but one of the things that I've noticed is that the food tastes so delicious when you're eating clean foods that are devoid of all the additives and the sodium and the oils or the lard or whatever. When you're eating clean food, you taste the food in a way that
your palate changes.
And Shauna talks about this too, that you want to, you know how, and when you go to fancy restaurants, right, and they give you a palate cleanser in between,
like sorbet or something, lemon sorbet.
I forget there's a name for it, but they give you like a little palate cleanser, a little tiny dish of it. And then you have that and it cleanses your palate. Right. And then you go to the next course. So that's kind of what happens, is that your palate gets cleansed from eating all those processed foods. Okay. So in any case, let's just do a review, shall we? So day one was to build your 50-50 plate, and you have, Shauna says, I've never been to that fancy of a restaurant. I don't think I have either, but I think I've seen it like in movies, Okay, so build the 50-50 plate, and you're very excited because you already know, because you called your husband, that what has arrived at your home?
My 50-50 plate.
Right, your 50-50 plate. So you're cool
Super
with
excited
that.
about that.
And with whatever flavor faves you want to add to it that are,
enhancers.
Compliant. And what?
They're enhancers.
They're flavor enhancers. I kind of like that, but it's a longer word. And flavor faves has the alliteration. I kind of like that, right? So the flavor faves, whether they're sauces, salsa, mustard, vinegar. And I've been making the, don't call it cheese sauce, which you seem to really like.
Love it. I make it at home.
You make it at home. So
the other thing we tried to make yesterday, but we couldn't get, is that, have you ever made tomatillo salsa? But when you buy the tomatillo tomatoes at Whole Foods or wherever you get them, they're covered with a paper, a covering. And when you peel it, they're sticky. So you have to like soak them in maybe vinegar and a little bit of baking soda. And it takes away that stickiness, and it's so yummy.
Well, we couldn't find them, but we did find, what did we find?
Pico de gallo?
No. We found those dark green peppers that I said we're going to make. Oh, hatch green peppers that we're going to make. So you also, by the way, and I want to recommend this to you as well. I bought these and then I cut the tops off because the hole was too small. Right. So I cut it so it was more open. Yeah. And you can put and I'm going to suggest this to you. It's so easy to overdo it on the condiments.
Yeah.
So even the cheese sauce, you can put the cheese sauce in here, and then when you
so much
squeeze,
easier.
oh, it's got water in
Right.
it. When you, it's not
Yep.
that it's easier. That's not the point. The point is that when you're pouring your cheese sauce,
Control.
you're controlling the amount that you put. Other than
Correct.
because if you dump too much on yours,
Yes.
you're going to be like, oh well, what the heck? I'm
Right.
going to eat it anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just a way to
All
control
right.
that.
Control.
Step 2 was that starches are your foundation. They're the potatoes, especially, are the most satiating food on the planet. Right. So you want to really focus on starches, and you want to eliminate from your mind what we were taught for decades, which is that potatoes are
Fattening.
No. They're not fattening, right?
Right. They're bad for you.
They're not bad for you.
Exactly. But that's what we've been taught.
We were taught that. So we have to really, really eliminate that from our brains. Starches are your friends, I would say. They're your foundation and your friends, no matter what they are. And make sure you cook extra so you have them for a few days, right? Like we have last night, what did we make for dinner besides you made the most delicious, well, it needed a little bit of salt, but the most delicious black beans. But what did we make that we had a little bit of a, almost had a what's the word I want? I can't talk today. We had an issue with the rice that I made. Remember?
Oh yeah, she tried to make it stovetop, and
I suck at it.
She's not a good stovetop.
I'm not
rice
a good.
cooker.
I'm doing too many things. I can't pay attention. I measure the water wrong. I just do it. So, and you can use the Instant Pot for sure, but I even screw that up. So I decided to buy a rice cooker, and it was reasonably. It was $30, and the cool thing is that the bowl that you make the rice in is stainless steel.
Right.
As opposed to
I like that a
nonstick.
lot.
And it's $30, and it makes perfect rice. So I took the partially cooked rice and I put it in the rice cooker, and I kind of dolled it up. I added some more water. It still didn't come out great because it wasn't starting from a zero neutral point.
It was a little sticky.
It was a little sticky, but that's fine. It was
Thank
fine.
you very much, Green Lady. I appreciate your comment.
Okay. So I'm gonna just go look at the chat if I
Carry
can.
on top, yeah.
Hi. Just
Exactly.
just joining, got my 50-50 plate yesterday. What did you get? Did you get a bowl or a plate, and what color? That's Stephanie. Carrie says, minimizing salt. It's important to get your levels checked periodically. As my 74-year-old mother was hospitalized this summer due to a severe low sodium, she had been avoiding salt. Yes, I mean, you have to have salt. You have to have salt. Ruth said, my mom had the same problem. She was hospitalized. Really good to know. Okay. We are not soil. We are not salt. We are oil free, but we're not salt free. And I'm also not sugar free. So I just prefer not to do that.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with that salt.
You just have to be careful with it.
Too much, right?
I'd rather salt my food at the table, frankly, because
that's what they say to do.
Right. So, okay. All right. So I think the white plate Stephanie got from Amazon.
Nice.
I'd be so curious to know what it is. We need to go look that up and see, because you see, I have 2 of them. It's good to have a couple. All right. Step 3 was to load up on non-starchy veggies, correct? Lots of them. And as a matter of fact, we can talk for a moment. You know what we're going to do? We're going to come back to that, because I taught you something when we were driving to the thrift store about that. Step 4 was to prioritize your vegetables. Start with a veggie soup, or just like, what did I do this morning when I made do you remember when I made my oats?
You reheated your savory oats.
And then I was picking out of the leftover
broccoli while she was
right. And I do that a lot when I have leftover veggies from the night before. I allow myself HTMs, which are what?
Hand to mouth.
I allow myself safe, compliant hand to mouths. One safe, compliant hand to mouth are leftover veggies. So while I'm getting my breakfast ready, I'm actually hand to mouthing my whatever vegetables I might have had. I never throw a vegetable out. Nothing. I saved everything. Why waste it? You paid money for it. Right?
But you added more vegetables, which is the point you're getting to.
She
added peas.
I added frozen peas.
And broccoli.
Right.
Then you added tomatoes.
Then I added tomatoes, and I added some cheese sauce and some
you added
sriracha.
some chickpeas that you had air fried.
So it was a zaftig.
It was so good.
All right, we need Ruth. Tell everybody what zaftig means. It was a zaftig breakfast. Okay. All right. So yes, and Shauna, tell me if you need for me to repeat those, because I see you put step 1 on building a 50-50 plate. All right. So we did all 4, and today 5 is fruit. And say 7 Peace Frog says, sorry, I didn't know you were going to be here for now. I just happened to come on. I'm not getting any notifications. You both look great.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get to the fruit, but before we do that, because that's step 5, I do want to say, please remember to click on the thumbs up sign, because that way YouTube knows that this is worth. Yeah, Ruth's Zoftic means big. It's like a lot of, right? So it was a Zoftic bowl of oatmeal that I made. Make sure
I'm Zoftic right now.
You are Zoftic. Well, you're Zoftic in places that I'm not Zoftic in. And that's going to be the case no matter how much weight you lose, right?
No, that'll come off of there too.
It does?
Yeah, it does.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you'll need new
brassieres?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Just tighten them.
Okay. Stephanie says it's smaller than I wanted, but it will work. You can always use an extra dish, or pile things extra high. All right.
Which goes with tonight's dinner plus the side you told me to do.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. So actually, before we get to the fruit thing, let us talk about that, right? Let's talk about, so we're driving to the thrift store, right? And 7 Peace Frog says, Faye, ha, ha, ha. Ruth says, me too. Zoftig did I say you were Zoftig? Or the plate was Zoftig? Your tatas were Zoftig.
My tatas were Zoftig.
My tatas are not Zoftig.
Not for long.
I swear to God, I was adopted. The bras. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So,
all right, so we're driving.
We're driving.
She tells me I'm ADHD.
We're driving. And I hope that this is not going to get tagged by YouTube, because we talked about that. We have to be careful about what we say. Okay. So we were driving and you found a recipe for an Asian
edamame.
You were looking for edamame.
My purpose was looking for edamame
because
Ellen's husband.
Right. He wants to find foods that are more richer in iron.
And edamame was the highest one on the list.
Right. So we did that. And then we did the edamame. You did that and you found a recipe for a Asian soup. And I said to you, okay, let's look at this recipe through the lens of starch solution.
We picked it apart.
And starch solution, by the way, versus maximum weight loss. Same McDougall umbrella, but one is starch solution, one is maximum weight loss. And Shauna, if you can put the link to your fabulous, they're all fabulous, but the fabulous video that you made speaking about the difference between the two. And I want everybody to make sure to go watch that. Okay.
Yes.
So I said to you, let's look at it through the lens of the starch solution, right? Because you have decided, correct me if I'm wrong, that you want to do starch solution and not maximum weight loss.
Sort of right in the middle.
Like maybe a little in the, a hybrid almost, right? So, pardon me. So we looked at the recipe and I'm going to let you take over, and I might just jump in if I feel like I need to editorialize a little bit.
So it called for water, and it called for, I should really get it up on my phone, right? It called for soba noodles and edamame, and I have to get the recipe. I have to pull up the recipe, and vegetables.
It called for a lot of the Asian sea vegetables, like kombu and wakame, or I don't know how to say that, wakame or wakame.
Right.
And there was one other, I think. And scallions. And I said to you, what makes it green? Is the broth green? And you said, no, it's the green sea vegetables that are in it, right?
That's what makes it green. Okay. And so we picked it apart. She said, what makes it non-starchy, starch solution? And I said, the noodles. She asked me why. And we were discussing dry starches.
We were talking about the difference. And this is really important, people.
Remember that.
I want you to know that there's a difference between dry starches and wet starches. Okay. The wet starches are the ones that fit much more into the starch solution way of life. Okay. Because they have a higher water content, thus the wet part of it.
When you boil them. We talked about other ways of cooking.
Right. So, I mean, you could also bake them, but if you air fry them, what happens to the water content
the
of
water
the food?
Sucks out. It
evaporates. And that's what makes the food crispy and crunchy, right? Because it doesn't have the water in it to mush it, I guess, if you will, right? So if you're trying to watch your weight, lose weight, be on a weight loss journey, or even if you're in maintenance and you want to be more mindful of where you are on the calorie density chart, which we haven't even talked about. That would be for another boot camp. But in any case, you want to definitely stay on the under the wet starches, because the dry starches, you're not going to get as full quickly. Do you know why? Why are you not going to get as full quickly if you eat a air fried potato versus a potato that has been baked, or even better, boiled?
From the water?
The water. I mean, I don't care what you put in. You can put, Kool-Aid in it. It doesn't matter. It's a liquid that's going to go into your belly, and it's going to fill you up.
Don't take that seriously about the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, don't do the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. The saying, I drank the Kool-Aid. Drink the starch solution Kool-Aid.
Yes.
We want you to do that. So, okay. So, and I just pinned Shauna's a YouTube video about the difference between starch solution and maximum.
I'm going to open this a little bit.
Okay. Are you schwitzed?
A little bit.
Okay. Schwitzed. That's another Yiddish word. Ruth. Where are you? Schwitzt. Why? What does schwitzt mean?
Sweating, glowing.
It's the glow. Oh, that feels good.
Doesn't feel wonderful.
Okay,
I love this Massachusetts weather we're having.
Drink the starch solution Kool-Aid. I love it. I know that's a good. We gotta remember that, Shauna. That's a good one. So in any case, so we talked about dissecting the recipe, correct?
Yes.
And what were some of the things that we decided that you could do to make it starch solution compliant?
I could have a side dish with the starchy vegetables, right? I could have the potatoes. Isn't that what we said?
Yeah, but
rice.
Why?
Did we talk about rice?
We talked about what is it about the buckwheat noodles. The recipe calls for buckwheat noodles, which are a dry starch.
Right. And I'm not going to be as satiated as I would if I had the non-drying starchy.
Right. And I don't have buckwheat noodles in any case, but I do have brown rice noodles.
Right.
The ones that come in the orange, I forget the brand, but they're great. You get them. I get them at Costco. They have them even at Market Basket. And so I said to you, if we're all at dinner and we're all having the brown rice noodles, I don't want you to feel like deprived. So have a little bit of the brown rice noodles. And in addition to that, make another dish that will be outside of the soup.
With more veggies.
Because the vegetables in this soup are not very hearty. There's not a lot of them.
Right.
But also to have a separate dish with the potatoes.
Yes.
And now you're more starch compliant. So look at a recipe and see what you can do to redo it, to rejigger it.
Like you say, dissect it.
Dissect it and see what you can do to what do you need to take out? What do you need to replace it with?
Right.
And you don't want to have it be an entirely new recipe. You want to still have the essence of the recipe, but you want to be able to make it starch solution friendly. Okay. So I'm suggesting to you that when you find a recipe that you go, ooh, that looks good, is to look at it through a new lens, right? Turn the kaleidoscope a little bit so that you're seeing it differently. Yep. Okay. So that was, so what we're going to do for dinner tonight is we're going to have this soup that's got all the sea vegetables in it, which is the green part, and the scallions. And we're going to put edamame in it. And we're also going to put, I would like to put a ton of broccoli. I wouldn't mind putting, we have green beans in the refrigerator.
I love all that.
We can put cabbage in there.
It's delicious.
We can make it really a heartier soup. That's what we're going to do. And then you on the side are going to have some potatoes.
Some Yukon Gold potatoes, right?
Right. Okay. So I think that you get the point. Yes. Ruth says that schwitzing is sweating. True. So Faye was schwitzing and now you're not.
Well, I wasn't really schwitzing. I was just warm.
Okay. You were on the road to schwitzing.
I so was on the road.
Okay. So 7P Strike says, but in my time period, drink the Kool-Aid is not good meaning. No, it's not. It's not in ours either, but it's a great it's a great analogy. When you drink the Kool-Aid, what we're saying is you've bought it hook, line, and sinker to do. If you drank the starch solution Kool-Aid, what you mean is that you've bought and inherited and taken into your bones the program.
I wonder what seasoning that soup is. My phone's in the other room.
Oh, let's take a guess. What would you say? Probably salt, probably soy sauce, which
coconut aminos,
which you can use sparingly because it's very high. It's still very high in sodium.
Right.
I would think fresh ginger.
Didn't it call for miso?
Yes, it called for miso, which is
salty
and right, but it's a fermented food. So fermented foods are really good for your gut.
Yep.
I would think fresh ginger, fresh garlic, and if not, if you're too, if you don't want to do that, then use powdered. That's fine.
What's that ginger spice you showed me the other day?
You want me to get it?
She got a new spice that ginger. I like ginger, but not when it's overwhelming. I also do not like the ginger that comes with your sushi. But this, she showed me.
Pickled ginger. I don't like it either because it usually tastes really yucky.
I think it tastes soapy, but yeah.
Yeah. So this is it. It's by a company called burlap and barrel, little on the pricey side, but highly recommended by someone, and they were darn right.
Buffalo ginger.
Well, that's what it's called. But
Ooh.
you know what? It's from
Yeah.
Vietnam. I'm going to open it.
Mhm.
I'm not going to put it in your hand because if you taste it, it's going to be very bitter.
Yeah.
Do you not like the smell of that? No, you're not a ginger person.
No.
And I am.
I'm not overwhelmingly. fond
But
of
you know what?
ginger.
It won't be so obvious
Mhm.
in the soup.
Mhm.
But do you like fresh ginger in soup?
No.
You never put fresh ginger in anything?
Rarely.
Who are you?
I know.
How could you not put fresh ginger?
You were adopted.
Maybe we'll do 2 separate pots. You know,
Mhm.
we can do one with and
I'll
one
be
without.
fine.
Yes. Okay. So let's move on because we are on a little bit of a time crunch. Okay, because we have to get to the market for my husband. Or something he wanted, and I want to go get it. So let's talk about step 5, which is about fruit. And the fruit is obviously for sweetness, and it's also
Sure.
for satiation. And
Mhm.
we do want. Now we're not doctors. We don't
Mhm.
profess to be at all. We're just
Yeah.
I'm a health coach, but I'm still not medically
Mhm.
trained.
Yeah.
But I do know from my my research
Mhm.
that if you have high triglycerides, that Dr. Esselstyn says you want to really be aware of and careful about the amount of fruits you eat, and also the sweeteners you use, whether it's maple syrup, coconut sugar, whatever, white sugar. To me, they're all the same because they're all sweeteners. And so you want to be careful about that. They do talk about, it's known that some of the fruits that are lower on the
Glycemic index.
and in the calorie density neighborhood, that you want to have berries, right? So blueberries is something I wouldn't go a day. I try not to, even if I take a handful,
every single day.
Yeah, even if the sprinkle of them in, I like them in my salad and my oatmeal. Yeah. I wouldn't put them in my soup.
They're so high in antioxidants too.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And by the way, you also have your degree from.
Oh, I have a certification from.
We haven't even talked about that.
I know. Colin Campbell, who is a PhD,
and he wrote the China study.
He wrote the China study,
which is a pivotal book.
Which is he did a longitudinal study of an area in China, and it was longitudinal, which means it was over years and years, and discovered the lack of heart disease amongst the people in the communities. So he offers a class through the China study,
it's through Cornell.
Cornell.
Yeah.
Cornell has an online program. I think it was about 4 classes, and I have a notebook. Of notes from that class that I printed out it's so well worth your investment.
Yeah, to learn.
I think it cost about $1,200 when I did it, but it was so well worth it. You learn a lot, and you learn about the origin of cancer cells and how we're all born with cancer cells. It's how you treat those cells. We need to treat our cells well.
Ourselves and ourselves.
Right. So it was a wonderful program. It was a great program.
So I'm sorry I haven't mentioned it before. You don't talk about it a lot, and you should, because you learned a lot from it.
I learned so much from it.
So in any case, fruit. The fruit adds such a lovely sweetness. And we're going to tell you a little secret that we made the last couple of nights, what we had.
Yum, yum.
Right? And Shauna, you will definitely like this because it kind of is in line with the sorbet that you make. We took grapes, dark grapes, purple grapes.
No, they were red.
Red grapes. Okay. I only use organic for the grapes for sure. And I took them and I put them in one of those Ninja Creamy cups. Whole. I didn't even mix them up like in a blender. I just put them in a whole and I stuck it in the freezer. And then the next night we put it through the Ninja Creamy.
So delicious.
So, I mean, I have to say that, I don't know if you found this, but the skins of the grapes kind of got,
like a little crunchy.
Yeah, crunchy, but some of them got caught on the roof of my mouth.
Oh, did they?
But I was okay with that.
No, but I might have gotten one stuck.
Yes.
But so delicious, out of this world, so satisfying.
It literally made grape sorbet.
Satisfying.
So good.
Use the sorbet button.
And then the night before, actually, because it takes 24 hours for it to freeze. What did I do?
She took a jar of Trader Joe's peeled and cooked peaches.
Right. And they're not cooked.
They're not.
I don't think so. Are they cooked?
Yeah. We'll have to look it
I
up
don't
and
think
see.
they're cooked.
Anyway, she added cherries.
And they're in a lightly sweetened syrup, which
Right.
I was okay with. I took
Mhm.
the peaches out. Now, if you really wanted to be more
I know.
compliant,
You'd
you
rinse
would,
this.
you'd rinse them.
Right,
Okay.
right.
But we took them out and put them in the Ninja Creamy cup
Mhm.
with
cherries.
cherries, frozen cherries.
Yep.
And froze that whole thing together. And then the next day,
Mhm.
24 hours later, we ran it through the Ninja Creamy.
And you know what? It's
night.
pretty too.
Should we get it out of the
I'm
freezer
getting
and show? Do you know where it is?
It's in the freezer.
Yeah. Okay. It's on this shelf that comes
Mhm.
that comes
Yes.
out. Oh, it is just delicious. So that's fruit. I mean, I don't care whether you're eating it frozen or fresh, it's still fruit. And it just, if you have a little bit of, there it is. If you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, this is a great way. Now, Michael tasted it last night and he was like,
He said it wasn't sweet enough.
Was it sweet enough for you?
I was loving it. I was
Yeah, it
loving
was
it.
sweet enough for me.
My sweet meter was fine. See that?
What's in there? That was a chocolate chip.
Oh,
Because I added
because she
chocolate
took
chip
some
to it.
and then she put it back. Right. Because you didn't love this one as much as the grape. I liked it a lot. But what do you think?
So, but the next time, I think what I would do is I would mix the. You didn't seem to mind the two colors
No.
separately, but I would have
Mm-mm.
liked it together.
Mixed it.
Would have made it like a light pink, I think.
Yes.
But anyway, so
So
fruit, and more fruit. Have your fruit because fruit fits perfectly in a whole food, plant-based, oil-free lifestyle. It's whole, right? No matter if you eat like a peach or you freeze it and have it. It's unprocessed, which the closer it is to Mother Earth, the better.
Yep.
And let's stop. How can you avoid fruit flies apart from using plastic bags?
Oh, we've had that trouble here too.
Yeah. So I usually take a little container like this and I put vinegar in it. And
Really?
then I cover it with a piece of saran wrap and I punch holes in it and the fruit flies end up inside.
I love that idea. I
So
did not know
that's
that.
one way to do that. And another way is to just not keep it out because, and so we've had to do that. We're probably close to putting those ripe bananas
in there.
out, right?
We loved it.
So-
I loved it. I thought it was fabulous.
Okay, so it's nutrient dense, which is what we want. You want it to be on the lower side of the calorie density chart, and it's so satisfying. To let us know in the chat what your favorite fruits are. And by the way, if you're watching, please click on the thumbs up. We have 16 thumbs up right now, and I'd like to see everybody that's on here just click on the thumbs up so that it sends a message to YouTube. And if you look at the bottom of the chat, I'm on my laptop, but I think it's probably, I should just pull it up I'm going to do that. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull it up on YouTube so that I can speak from knowledge. And let's just go here.
And so, who was it said, 7-piece frog said she uses apple cider in lieu of the vinegar. I would assume that's what you mean. I'm going to try it when I get home. We don't have a lot, but enough that it's annoying.
I don't know why my phone is not behaving. Oh, there it is. So why isn't it? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm just going to. Okay, so on your phone, if you look at I'm looking at my phone. If you look at the very bottom, that's where the chat is. And I have it set up so that you have to wait a minute, I think. Is it? Let me know if that's correct, that you have to wait a minute between between your comments in the chat. Toady says, I feel sorry for the fruit flies. I do too, but we need to do that. We don't want fruit flies in our fruit. So I do too. I hear you. But anyway, at the bottom of the chat, there's a little smiley face. And if you click on it, oh, that's so adorable. You can actually choose something and send it. And then you see, I just sent it. There it is. I just sent it. Hi. And then there's also a little $sign where if you choose to make a donation, no matter what it is, we welcome it because we feel strongly about making sure that we keep coming to you with this content while Faye is here, and we're gonna maybe try to figure out how to do it.
Somebody told us yesterday. Yeah.
And if you're a top fan, it's lovely. You get like a little crown next to you.
Yeah, contributor,
which is really cute.
Really.
So
cool.
okay. So the other thing about the fruit is that it contains water. And we want to fill our bellies, and they tell you you're supposed to have 8 glasses of water a day. But I do believe, for me, I'll speak for me, that I consider that the food that I'm eating, the high amount of whole food
should account for some of that water.
So, and fruit certainly contains water, and it contains fiber, and that makes it very different. You do not want to drink juice. Juice is a no-no. It's so easy to drink those calories, and man, you're going to be up there with calories that you don't want. You want to fill your belly with fiber, and the juice has no
And I think I'd like to try the watermelon in the Ninja, because watermelon is so full, clearly.
Yeah, full of water, duh. And also the fruit really fits all the principles of this lifestyle, which is that it's low calorie density, it's so much nutrition, and there's no oil, right? So there you go. That's why fruit fits perfectly in a whole food plant-based way of eating. Fruit also satisfies your sweet tooth without adding processed sugar. And when your palate changes, I promise you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that if you say, I'm just going to try this cookie, you try that cookie that's got white cane sugar in it or coconut sugar that's more processed, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, you're going to be so surprised at how sweet it tastes unnecessarily. And if you eat this, I will say that when Michael had it last night,
I was just going to say the same thing.
What were you going to say?
So Michael had it with a little whipped cream, and he said just wasn't sweet enough. For me, it was sweet, which tells me and you that my palate has already changed. So for me, I could detect the sweetness in it without it being not too sweet.
Right.
That's what I think. My palate told me it.
Right. So wait, I want to just see what Shona said. Be sure to give Ellen and Faye a thumbs up underneath where they are if you're on a laptop. If you have the chat open, you have to close the chat to give a thumbs up. Interesting. You have to close the chat to give a thumbs up.
Versus being on a laptop.
And then get back on it, right? And if you're on your phone, you have to close the chat, not on a computer, right? Okay, so in any case, so fruit will curb your curb your cravings. It's amazing. I don't know about you. What I have found, because I've been doing this now for 6.5 years, my eyes want the sweets. Like if I see Michael opening up a bag of Tate's chocolate chip cookies, I'll be for literally a moment. I'll be like, ooh, that looks good. Maybe I want one. But it lasts a millisecond. Your palate literally changes, and you're not drawn to it the way you were before. It really, having the fruits really kind of curbs your cravings for cookies, for candy, for packaged foods. The fiber and the water content make fruit very filling, unlike processed sweets, which all they do is make you want to eat more, and you're eating more and more calories and more sugar. And it really helps to retrain the palate to appreciate the natural sweetness in foods. And it is so true. You will even eat green beans and think, oh my God.
Green beans are so delicious.
Why did I even not know that green beans were so delicious?
Yeah, your flavor bar changes.
Toady says, hello, sister of Ellen. You are so lucky to be half of a twins, right? Yes, you are. Two for the price of one.
Well, you know what? We were 16 months apart. So my mother had myself and my sister, my fraternal twin sister. My mother had Ellen and then got pregnant shortly thereafter, clearly 7 months. And then she had twins.
16 months.
We're 16 months apart. It takes 9 months.
Why did you say 7?
Because it takes 9 months to birth a baby.
Oh, sorry. My math was wrong.
To grow the baby.
To grow the babies. Yes. Okay. The power of fiber in fruit. It slows absorption and it balances your blood sugar. If you have not read the book called Your Body in Balance by Dr. Neil Barnard, please put that on your list. Perhaps, Shauna, you could write that in the chat. Your Body in Balance. You might want to read it too. It's about getting your hormones
all
in
the
balance.
Nutrients, right?
Yep. So the fruit prevents blood sugar spikes. It prevents crashes. It supports steady energy, and you will have way fewer cravings, if any. And it's especially important in midlife for hormone-related sugar sensitivity. So lots of good reasons to have those fruits. Another bullet is that it's nutrient density. It's got, like you mentioned, antioxidants, vitamins, phytonutrients that are unique to the fruit, right? It provides all kinds of things like vitamin C and potassium and folate and polyphenols and antioxidants. It supports all kinds of functions, your immune function, your heart function, your brain health function, and it also benefits your skin sort of in your overall vitality.
Speaking of skin.
Yes?
I'm on day 9 today. And you know what? I see a difference in my skin. When I did this 8 years ago, I saw a difference in my skin.
I noticed it this morning and I forgot to say something to you.
Thanks, Sal.
I did. I noticed like a glow.
I
sort of.
feel like I could see it. I could see a difference on day 9. What do you think of that?
That's amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
Right?
I'm so happy. Okay.
And you said to me this morning something about that I have been like nonstop saying to you, are you going to stick to this? Are you going to stick to this?
She's asked me one more time if I'm going to stick to this when I get home. I'm going to chop her.
Are you going to stick to it? And your answer is?
Oof, leave me alone. Leave me be. Of course I am.
So Glenna says to wash your to wash your produce in a solution of water and white vinegar, then dry thoroughly. This removes the eggs of the fruit flies. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I had an apple when we were coming home from in
yesterday.
the car, and I rubbed it on I hadn't cleaned it before we left the house, and I rubbed it on my pants, and the schmutz that came schmutz. We need a little definition, Ruth.
We know what schmutz is. You know, schmutz is something on the outside. When you buy a peach, a lot of the peaches, though they're organic, if you look at them, they have peach fuzz.
Peach schmutz.
Schmutz.
Well, I don't know.
Peach fuzz.
The apple sure had something. Right. Dust. I don't know what it was.
Shauna's going to hunt me down.
She's going to hunt you down if you don't stick to it.
I will cut you. Yeah.
I will cut you. All right. So the best time to enjoy fruit is really now I don't believe in smoothies. Once in a very, very blue moon, maybe, but it will be in addition to, I will not have it in place of the real whole foods. I'll have a little maybe smoothie, make a small amount. But as a general rule, smoothies are a no-no because they're going to go right through you and they're going to fill you up temporarily. And then an hour later, you're going to be like, what the heck?
Dr. Elston, that's a strong point he makes, is that eat them whole.
Right. So they're great to top. We put them in you should see our Gesundheit. Oh, there's another one.
Big.
Ruth, Gesundheit.
Gesundheit, big.
Gesundheit. Ruth, will you tell us what
Remember
Gesundheit
we talked
means?
about me being Gesundheit before. Large.
We did?
Big. We
large.
did that, right?
Okay, so Gesundheit. So we put a Gesundheit amount of, should I show? Maybe I will just for a second show a picture.
Thank you, Shauna. You are correct.
What?
She said, I'm healing from the inside out. And that's why my skin's changing. Which I think I might have said this to you all, but I'm going to say it again.
This is my oatmeal. I just zoomed in on with my apples and my carrots. I mean, I eat, and Shauna helped. I always cooked my carrots, but now I have them raw and I like it much better. And I always had apples, and I also had other fruits too, but I'm totally digging having just this. I'll eat an entire, not a gigunda one, but a small Cosmic Crisp because I love them, sometimes Envy. And I just I have that whole apple and a huge amount of carrots, and plus all the other
and the
stuff.
Zucchini, the cauliflower that's in there. And you know what? On that subject, Shauna and everybody, and Toady, I got my glasses on. I can't see. Toady. Okay. When I first went down this road, after my stents were put in, I might have told this the other day, but I went to the dentist for a cleaning. And the dental hygienist said, whoa, your gums are so pink. I don't think I've ever seen such pink gums.
Well, let's see what happens at your next cleaning. Right. So fruits. So we top our oatmeal. We top, I make my own soy yogurt from soy milk. And I take that yogurt, I'll have it for a snack. Just on its own, you know, if you're hungry, have a piece of fruit, have an apple, have a plum, have a pear, have a whatever. Have it for dessert after meals to curb that sweet craving. And I also put fruit in stir fries. I do. I put it in salads, right?
I love it in salad. Blueberries and peaches.
Strawberries.
I made a huge salad a couple weeks ago that I put in corn and blueberries and peaches and South Carolina peaches.
Right. So there's no end to what you can do with fruit. And the variety matters too. That's something that's important. Don't get hooked on the same thing day after day after day after month after, you want to make sure that you're eating a rainbow of different color fruits for their maximum nutrient profile that they give you. And that way you're going to get a whole variety, a whole spectrum of antioxidants and phytonutrients, right? You want to basically eat the rainbow because that's going to help your diet, your food choices be balanced and give you a lot of protective nutrition. Okay, let's see. where are we time-wise?
It's 12:24.
Oh, okay. So we got to kind of,
Tight
all right.
as
I'm
soup.
going to tie this up quickly. I'm going to run through the last couple of things. Let's see. Fruit is not fattening. You do have to be careful if your triglycerides are high. Do your research, please. You do you. I'll do me.
Right.
You do you. You do you. And make sure that you do a little research on the part that fruit or sugars in general, sweet plays in high triglycerides. So do some research on that. But remember, the whole fruit is going to process much more slowly than it will if you put it into a smoothie. And but it's not
Keeping you full.
It's going to keep you full. It's not fattening. Stop with the fattening. Just there are fruits that are higher in sugar, like the tropical fruits, for example, the pineapple, the mango, the what else is
even
tropical?
banana. You know, I have banana in my oatmeal, but don't overdo the banana.
Right. Okay. So, and it really helps to, you know, if you're hungry or what I would say, and Shauna, you talked about this in the video I watched, I think from yesterday, just about, are you hungry? Or are you just nudgy? We use so many Yiddish words.
She
nudgy.
said dope.
Are you nudgy? Are you like, you don't know what to do with yourself, so you're bored? And so you open the refrigerator. And how many times have you done this where you open the refrigerator and you think you're hungry? You stand in front of it and then you stand in front of it and you just finally close it because you don't really know what you want. Yes. If you're not really hungry, check in with your hunger fullness cues. It's so tempting and easy, especially if you're retired, to eat because it's like a, I don't know, what's the word I want? It's something that you do to pass the time. But we eat because
mindless eating.
It's mindless eating, and you eat because at the end of the day, food is fuel.
Right.
I'm sorry to have to pass that on to you, but that's really what it is. And
you are what you eat.
It's not entertainment,
right? You are what you eat.
You are what you eat, and the food is not entertainment. So, having said all of that, let's move on because what I want to ask is if. We're going to end in just a few minutes, but we're going to do some angel card stuff. But what is one of your, what's a take home for you today? Let's do that. Would you be willing to do a take home while we're waiting for the chat to fill up? What's your take home? One thing, you can do multiple, but what's one thing that's a take home?
That I really have to be careful of the tropical vegetables because I love pineapple and watermelon's delicious, but also has sugar in it. And I have to be careful about the sugar in the fruit. I already do berries. I love raspberries. I love blueberries, love blackberries, but you have to be careful about the sugar content. That's one of my takeaways. What do you guys think?
I just put I'm pinning a message of if you want to be on my email list, make sure you go there and you get 3 free recipes.
Yes.
To do so. So your take home was that, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was busy. What was
about the tropical fruits? I have to be really careful.
Yeah, right.
Really careful.
Go for the berries.
And what Shauna said, by the way, is so true. I'm retired, and when you're home, you know, what you always say. Chef AJ says, if it's in your house, it's in your mouth.
Right.
So yeah, retirement's a whole nother different animal.
Yes. Load up on the veggies, right? Yeah. And if you have yesterday, one of the things that I did when we went to Boston was, in addition to the lunch I brought in my not the cooler, the thermos.
Like a thermos.
I also brought, you didn't even see this, I brought a baggie of sugar snap peas.
Oh, good idea.
And I sat at our appointment while we were waiting, and I bit off the end and I tore off the string and then I ate it. So it's just a new habit that you want to do.
A new normal.
Okay, so let's start with
pick a card.
I think I'm going to go like this. I need a bigger bowl than that.
That's a good bowl.
All right, you can just pick.
Okay, I'm going to pick today's
angel card. I'm so thankful to Shauna for teaching.
This sings to me.
All right.
You want to sing with me? Sing. Commitment.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Fruit for dessert, load up on veggies. Those are Shauna's reminders and her take-homes. So much great info for this lifestyle. Thank you, Ellen and Faye. Okay, we have commitment. Thank you. Are you kidding?
Amen to that.
Commitment, because what do I always say to you? What's my
Are
sentence?
You committed or are you interested?
Well, I say it the other way.
Oh, are you interested or are you committed?
You're either interested or you're committed. There's no in between. Sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to tell you this.
Yeah.
Are you interested and you just sort of want to dabble around dance around the edges, or or are you committed? And the commitment part, I would suggest, if you're still kind of on the fence, is write that on a piece of paper and put it on your bathroom mirror, put it on one of your kitchen cabinets on the inside when you open it, and look and make sure that those words get into your brain. Are you interested or are you committed? Exactly. Which one? Because if you're only interested, you're not going to have some, you're going to be, if you have a 50% investment, you're going to get a 50% result. Right? If you're 100% or 150% committed, you're going to get 150% result. That's just the way it is. Okay. Commitment, for me, commitment is really important because I know that my personality is such that if I'm not committed and I don't do it all the way, I know I'll fall off the wagon. I know me. I know that I need to be all in, all 10 fingers, all 10 toes. I have to be all in with everything. So commitment is such a good card. All right. And before we go to the other, the Power Thought cards, I just want to show what I got at the thrift store.
And I'm going to find a card in here for us today.
Find a card. So we went to the thrift store, and I want to show you. So I'm going to be using that rice cooker a lot, but for times that I want to make it on the stove, if I want to be brave again, I wanted to get a glass lid for my from this size pot that I have, and this is like new. I'm going to wash it, put it through the dishwasher, and I will be able to see inside. So this was a great buy for $1. And then I might have mentioned to you, and Shauna, you've been a kind of a big help around this. I started dancing around. I was interested, not committed, dancing around meditating about 30 years ago. And I even took a class through John Kabat-Zinn, who wrote a book called Wherever You Are, There You Are, something like that. Wherever you are, there you are, something like that. And part of the class was meditating, and we did it every single class, and I really, really got into it. And then, I fell away from it, and I really want to get back to it. I need it for my life. So I'm going to start reading up on it and learning about it more. So if anybody here is into meditating, I know Shauna is, if you have a resource, a book, an app, or whatever that you recommend, please put it in the chat. Yes, Shauna, wherever you go, there you are. And I have that book, and I love that book. I should pull that off the shelves again. So I got this Zen. It's called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Shunryu Suzuki. And then
this looks like it hasn't even been cracked.
I know.
It hasn't.
It isn't. It's a new book.
It's a new book.
And this is pretty darn new too. This one is called The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukov. And so that's going to be interesting. And then this one, which I opened because I wanted to read something from you, is called Living a Sacred Life, 365 Meditations and Celebrations. So, so Todi says, please answer my question, plastic soup or fruit flies? Can you please ask the question again? Because I'm not, I don't want to scroll back. It would be helpful.
Oh, it says sometimes you have to choose between plastic and fruit flies.
Right. Okay. Wait, but what's the question?
Welcome, Debbie.
Welcome, Debbie. Glad to have you here. Yes, I just want to be clearer, Todi, by what your question is, and I want to answer it. So just try to, if you could just ask it as actually even put 4 question marks beforehand, so that will, and then put the question. Okay. And in the meantime, I'm going to read you one of the meditations, part of it, not the whole thing. But this one is called Ceremonies from the Heart. This is by Carl Jung, the saying, only the symbolic life can express the need of the soul, the daily need of the soul, mind you. And because people have no such thing, they can never step out of this mill, this awful grinding, banal life in which they are nothing but. In the ritual, banal. It's banal, not banal.
Banal.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay. In the ritual, they are nearer the Godhead. They are even divine. So this is, remember, this is called Ceremonies from the Heart. And this kind of harkens back to what we talked about, I think, on the first day, which was about making meals sacred. And and remember that day that we talked about it, and I said, Michael will never want to do this, but then he did. Remember?
Exactly. Held hands at the dinner table.
And we held hands at the dinner table, and I didn't want to push it too much. So we held hands for about 5 seconds, and then I said, Grace, remember?
Yeah.
So I wanted to really recognize how sacred food is and how sacred meals are. And it's not the food that's sacred, really, although to me it is, but it's also the gathering that is so important.
Yes.
So the ceremonies from the heart, I would recommend. In fact, somebody actually sent me a message and said that they showed me a picture of their table with a vase of flowers. And I asked her to please explain. And she said that was the one thing she could do to make the meal special. And that's wonderful.
Yeah, we talked about setting a table. Yeah.
Okay.
But time out. Hi, Chew on Vegan. I follow you.
Chew on Vegan. Hi, Ellen. Yes, Chew on Vegan. Also, another person you should follow. She's fabulous. She's one of our buddies, and she's got amazing information. And she really focuses on the need for protein when you're in menopause.
And I'm Faye. I haven't seen you before. I'm Faye. I'm Ellen's sister. I live in Florida. Yes. And I'm leaving tomorrow after 10 days.
Okay. So, and we're very sad about that. Okay. I'm going to just read a little bit of this.
Okay.
When we take time to create a meaningful, sacred event for ourselves, it is a self-loving action. We companion ourselves. That kind of makes me a little teary. We listen to our hearts and act on what is called for. When we include other people, isolation disappears as we share our personal stories. We have a purpose. We make a difference. We feel loved and part of the world. So that rite of passage, it brings more awareness to our lives simply by taking the time to do them. So let's all sort of make a pinky swear. We'll do it right here. We're going to pinky swear. What? That ain't going anywhere.
Oh my.
Okay. Where was I? I have that too, you know.
Do you?
We all do. How many people have this?
How many have waving arms?
We all do. Okay, that's not the point.
Okay.
But the point is that we want to, I want to ask you if you would make a commitment. Speaking of commitment, I think I put it away. Oh, here it is. Speaking of commitment, make a commitment to create a ritual, even small. And if your family, if the people you are with, if you're alone, you can do it on your own. But if you're not, then if the people you're eating with are like, no, I'm not doing that, forget about it, then fine, do it for yourself. And something you could do is just to, before you pick up your fork, you can close your eyes and just breathe, take 5 deep breaths or whatever, whatever day of the week. Today is the 27th, take 27 deep breaths or divide it in half and take half of that. But make some kind of a ritual for yourself so that the eating itself, not the food, but the actual ritual, the act of dining and the fact that you have this food that nourishes you and gives you fuel, that it actually, you elevate you elevate the food and you elevate the ritual and you elevate the event. It becomes sacred by doing that.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you so much.
And I have my card. I love the card I picked. I love the card.
Okay. So we picked from, this is Power Thought Cards by Louise Hay. And what's the card you picked?
It says, I can release the past and forgive everyone. If I could, I would black this out and say myself. How many of us are beating ourselves up for not doing making healthy choices? And it says on the back, I free myself and everyone in my life from old past hurts. They are free and I am free to move into new glorious experiences.
May I have that? And I want to use Faye as an example, as a lab example. How many times have you said to yourself or to someone else, I hate myself for the weight I've gained? How many times have you said it today? Right? You said it when you talked to Bonnie.
I said it to my sister Bonnie. I said it to myself.
And so let's turn that around. What's language that you can use and can you catch yourself thinking it and catch yourself letting those words are poison to your soul. So what's something you can say to yourself instead of, I hate myself for gaining this weight?
Well, I love myself for having the commitment to make the change.
Shauna, would you write that please in there?
Do I have to say it again?
Yes.
I love myself and the commitment
for making
I've made to make the change.
Right.
Something like that.
I love myself for making the commitment to make this change.
Mhm.
Okay. And
I
you
think
can
that's a biggie.
release the past. You can let go the
And
hate.
forgive myself.
And
'cause
forgive yourself,
We could beat
right?
ourselves up from now till who knows when.
Right. So
Right?
that is, I love myself for making the commitment to make this change.
I love that.
And that's something that I would suggest that you, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now.
Remind me.
Send Faye a text message that says, I love myself for making the commitment to make this change.
Mhm. And I think that goes right with that card we picked today.
My sister Faye Weisbaum.
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
I love that. Thank you,
Okay.
Shauna.
And maybe you could actually
Mhm.
write it on a piece of paper and do some doodling and
Yeah.
make it pretty. So Tody says she doesn't want to use plastic, but you also don't like fruit flies. I don't know. Maybe you could do
Mhm.
the same idea, but use it with a piece of parchment paper on top of the bowl of vinegar, and put holes in the parchment paper with a
Mhm.
pin.
Right.
That might be a way to do it.
Mhm.
You can put use a ceramic dish like this, put the apple cider vinegar in, cover it with a piece of parchment paper, put a rubber band around it so that it holds. And I think that's the best that I can. And so I hope that answers that. So let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
From Frozen
Wait,
Vegetables. I mean,
is that-
Frozen the movie.
What is that the song?
It's from Frozen.
But is it Let It Go?
Yes.
Those are the words?
Yes.
You're sure? Because I can't remember.
I'm 100% sure.
How does it go?
I'm not singing.
Oh, come on. Just try. Give it to me. Remind me.
I don't know the rest of the words.
Let it go.
Let it
go.
go.
Na 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 na.
I don't remember the rest
Right?
of it. Anybody else have young kids and want to pipe in here?
Okay. Let it go.
Okay.
Just let go. Let go of the hate. Not only let go of it, let it go and let it fly away, flit away in the wind, and love yourself for being here, for making the commitment to this 7-day boot camp, and go back and listen to all 7 days again when you're done. Okay. Go to Shauna's and listen to her 30-day reset, and go to Chew on Vegan and look at her amazing recipes and her commitment. She's been doing this for years. She is the OG. She is the original. What's the G stand for?
For what?
When people say they're the OG, the original something. I can't remember what the G stands for.
I don't know. There's a goat.
The original goat? No, that's
the
not.
goat's
It's the original
greatest of all time.
something.
But no,
So
I don't know.
anyway,
And you're right, Ruth.
The original
Good enough.
gangster. That's what it is. The original
right.
gangster. So Chew on Vegan is the original gangster. So she's the OG. So anyway, we want to say thank you for being here. We're very excited, and we are gonna what's gonna happen tomorrow? How are we gonna?
We have to leave early for the flight.
What time do we have to leave?
We thought about like 1-ish.
Oh, can we do it again tomorrow at 11?
We could
Or
do it.
we'll do it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So if you're interested,
I will not bid you adieu yet.
Right. So we've got one more. And Michael, you want to wave hello? Okay, there's Michael. And we are going to, we'll decide on what time works for us.
Right.
And yes, thank you to Debbie of Chew on Vegan for paving the way. And she has a fabulous podcast now, right, Debbie? That's called something with your Plant-Based Besties, I think it's called. And make sure you go check that out on all the podcast platforms. And I've been listening to it religiously. And so make sure you do that. And I think most of all, we both want to say thank you for being here. Thank you to all of you for your original sister is so kind. I thought it said your original sister is so loud. Oh, sorry.
I can be.
So can I. Yes. Chew on Vegan. Debbie says with Joey from Plant-Based Dads, another wonderful channel you can pay attention to. So do your thing, my friends, and make sure that you are good to yourself, that you love yourself, that you make the commitment, that you remember that this is a journey and it one step at a time, one teeny step at a time. That's all it takes. Make sure you join sign up for my newsletter, which is in the pinned comment, so that you get my 3 free recipes, and then eventually you'll get my emails. And we are so thrilled that you are here. And maybe Debbie, you can help us. We're trying to figure out how she flies back to Florida tomorrow, but we want to figure out how she can do some of these lives with me from Florida. So we have to figure that out, maybe with Ecamm or StreamYard or something like that. So
go back and read that sentence I said. I love that. I love myself.
I love myself for Having the courage, maybe you
The
didn't say
commitment.
making the commitment
To
to
make
the change.
change.
I love that. Okay, so to all of you, we love you.
See you tomorrow.
We are thrilled that you're here with us, and we
As we
want you to
say-
have a great, great day.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye. Mwah.
I'm kind of. Oh, I forgot. I walked away before.